In our last 4 sessions, we began a discussion with Cheryl, who had been protecting herself by criticizing or attacking her husband. I suggested that she change the pattern of her entire life, which had never been productive, by telling the truth about her own mistakes. I suggested that she tell Howard that she had been ungrateful, but she had a hard time with that. She was still afraid that he would use that against her. But she decided to exercise faith that this would work better than the uniformly terrible course of protecting herself. She turned to Howard and said,
"Howard, when you brought me the tax forms, I should have been grateful for all the work you put into completing them, but I wasn't. Instead, I was worried about something I wanted for myself, so I attacked you. Now I understand that I've been doing that kind of thing with you for years. All you've ever wanted from me was my unconditional love, but instead, I've accepted you only when you've done what I wanted. When you haven't done exactly what I wanted, I've been disappointed and irritated. I've criticized you and manipulated you, and I've been doing this for pretty much our entire marriage. All this must have been miserable for you, and I'm sorry."
An immediate change came over Howard. When he first came in the room that evening, he sat as far as he could from Cheryl. He wanted nothing to do with her. But after just a few moments of Cheryl's being truthful with him, Howard looked like a different person. I asked him what he was thinking. He said, "For the first time in a very long time, I feel hopeful. If we could keep talking like this, I'd want to stay married to her forever." Cheryl began to weep. "This is what happens," I said to Cheryl, "when you stop protecting yourself. And if you'll keep telling the truth about yourself, like you just did, miracles will continue happening in your relationship." When Howard and Cheryl left the room, they were glued to each other. Over the next few months, they both learned to consistently tell the truth about their own mistakes, and it made a dramatic difference in their marriage. We can find happiness in our relationships only when we're unconditionally loving. The instant we try to get something for ourselves or protect ourselves, we hurt the people around us. We hurt our relationships, and we're left alone and unhappy. That does not mean that we have to be doormats. We don't have to put up with everything that other people do to us. If someone is persistently manipulative and hurtful, we can always choose to withdraw from the situation or relationship. We can withdraw without anger, blaming, or feeling like victims, which are the behaviors that have always caused us so much unhappiness. As we learn to be loving, most people will respond to that love, and they will not attack us or use us. Even on the occasions when people do use us, we will not feel used if we are filled with real love. With enough real love in our lives, we can be happy all the time, regardless of the behavior of others. That's a pretty great way to live. With Cheryl and Howard, and in our own lives, we learn over and over that it's always about real love.